Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. I was speaking with my friend earlier, and she was working on a journal she had purchased that was a blank journal. And she said, I wish I had more pages, more room. And earlier in the summer, someone that had purchased a journal from me made a comment that theirs was almost full and they were worried about trying to add pages because they didn't want to mess it up. So I was thinking that maybe I could do a quick tutorial to show you how easy it is to add journal spots or complete pages without dismantling your book, and they will look like they were meant to be in the book. Whatever you want to add to your book can be done after it's bound. This one is not bound, but it occurred to me that I had a lot of the hinging in this book, like this right here. I sewed it at the bottom, but again, you don't have to sew because I'm just showing ways to hinge on a piece, but I'll show you how to do it where you don't have to sew. But in honesty, if it wasn't this big of a book, like if it was this book, you could actually still sew something onto this side of it where this was hanging off of your sewing machine. It wouldn't be easy, but you could lay your paper there, sew down, and still be able to add a page that way. But anyway, like, envelopes are really good to add as hinges, the lip of them. Here's one that comes out, has a pocket. But those are just ways to add extra journaling space. I think that's the same thing. Add extra journaling space to your books. Like this one flips up, and again, I know I sewed it, but I will show you how to do the exact same things on a book that's already bound together. So, for instance, this is my little journal that I work in all the time, and I made a comment that I was going to have to get me another one because I was running out of spots. Perfect time to show how to add more pages where you don't have to get rid of your little journal. If you have pages, if you want to add a whole page like this, you only need two things to add anything, a journaling spot or an extra page. You only need two things. You need an adhesive, whether it be a glue stick or Barely Arts adhesive tape, two-sided tape. I use Scotch tape on this one, and I'll show you why. Uh, any kind of adhesive, and then whatever you're wanting to hinge it with. Paper, fabric, lace, anything. You can use anything, book page, but let me show you real quick. On this one, I added a whole page, and I added it in between two pages that already had writing. So I didn't necessarily want to hinge it with something that would cover up my writing. So I just used regular Scotch tape and hinged it. And not only that, but then you get this full open space. There's no half of it's here and half of it's later on in the book. You get kind of like if you did the tab binding. It's kind of like that. So how I did this piece was I had this extra paper like this, and I'll just go ahead and add another one in here because I'm going to use this book for a long time. So I'll do it here. So as you can see, there's writing on both sides. So I've got my piece, and I know I need it this tall. So I'm either going to tear off that, or I don't want to lose the paper, so I'm just going to fold it up and make it. You could, at this point, before you bound it in, you could sew it and make pockets, or you can do like I'm going to do and just leave it for writing space that can be folded down. So then you fold it, where it's going to fit in your book, like so, and line it up. And I'm going to burnish this really good where it has a nice crease. And then I just took my Scotch tape. Another good thing would be like age tape. Be really pretty. But since there's already writing in this, I'm not going to cover it up. I'm just going to use, I don't think Scotch tape covers that well. So on the first side that you're doing, I found it was easier to lay my Scotch tape on this to get my length. Actually, you don't even have to do that because you can cut it down. And Scotch tape isn't the greatest adhesive, so I run it across my glue stick. Try to. And then I just laid it halfway onto my page. Half of the tape onto my page, like so. And you can run it the whole length of your book. I'm just not being that picky with it because this is my book, and I don't care if it has tape all the way to top, from top to bottom. So I'm just burnishing that. Then I'm going to set it up. I'm going to kind of flip my tape up here. I'm going to set it right into that crease. Just like that. And then push down this side. You can use your fingernail, you could use your bone folder, a knife, like a butter knife, anything pointy, just to burnish that down and get it in the crease good. And then I fold it over and kind of burnish it again because I like to make sure it's going to stay. And then you do the exact same thing on the other side. Same thing, piece of tape. And again, I'm not being particular with the size of my tape because I don't care. It's my journal and I don't need it to be perfect. Plus, this is a very grungy, messy journal. So on this side, I just lay it down, hopefully where half the tape's on each side. Burnish it. And then I like to fold over this page and burnish it from the back side on both inside and out. And my tape isn't completely clear tape, so you can kind of see it, but on the page that has stuff on it, you can't, really tell it. And there you go. You have an extra page added in just like that. So that's one way to do it, of course. And then another thing, easy way, I have these little, thought I would add this on. It's going to be a little pocket. So, and you can again add this to any page and determine what kind of hinge you want to use based on what's on your page. You know, if it's something that you want to match to your page, like washi tape or distress tape, or even scrapbook to match your page, this is a good time to add decoration to your page. Make it more special, more your own. I think I'm just going to use washi tape for this. And I just grabbed some out of the box. It's probably not even going to match. Doesn't really, but another good way is washi tape. Easy way. And I just run it along the edge of my piece, like so, where it's half on my piece and half off. Tear it. And I'm not going to do it right now just to save time on the other side, but you probably would on washi tape as well want to put some kind of secondary glue on that. So then I'm just going to lay it on the edge of my sheet. Fold it. Make sure it's got a nice fold. And that it's even with your edge. And you can tell my edges are all rough cut. They're all torn pages. So it doesn't matter what the edge of your page is like. This will work for anything. The only thing is, when you do it on the edge, you want to make sure that both pieces of your adhesive are the same, or you're going to have sticky poking out and could potentially stick to the other pages. So just be mindful that whatever adhesive you're using matches up on both sides. So you want them to be the same size. So I'm just going to do the same thing over here on this side. Of course, it's upside down. Again, this doesn't matter. It's my book. So, but that's just to show you what it's going to look like. And again, I didn't use another glue. If I intend on keeping it here, I will, just to make it. But you've got a hinge on that side. Or, you know, it could go this way, whichever way you want it to go. And you can do that anywhere on your page. Top, bottom, side. You can do that in the middle with washi tape. Same as what I just showed you with this tape. So this right here, this hinge works with anything. You could take paper, fold it in half. We'll do it on this book. Just for fun. Well, I've been working in this book, it looks like. And you don't have to add to a crease that's already there, like in the center. You can add this to the middle of your page, anywhere on the page. We'll add on a piece right here. We'll add something into the middle. And I still have some of this paper. And like, I'm adding it to the center of that page, but you wouldn't have to. Like, you could just tape this down to the page on either side. You just would skip the hinge. I hope I'm not making this more confusing. I'm just going to cut a piece. And you would probably want to use something a little thinner than I have here because I have cardstock. And again, anything will work, but if you're using paper, some thinner paper, it just makes it lay a little flatter. I also have some of this. I wonder if I want to use that instead, because that looks kind of cool. I'm just going to fold it again. I'm just going to cut it, and it doesn't matter. These pieces don't have to be straight. They just have to reach from your book to the page you're putting in. So, like, I'm going to do it like this time. So I'm going to fold this. And it, of course, isn't a straight piece, so it's not going to... But again, just showing you, you can use anything. So half of it's going to go on my paper. The other half's going to go on the page that's already there. So I think I'll use some art glitter glue for this one. Then just set your right into your crease. Like that. Flip it over, make sure I got it good and even where I want it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I think I'll use that same kind of paper. That's some used coffee filter collaged onto book page is what this is. I kind of try to get in the seam too. And then just fold it over to your page. Burnish it. Make sure it folds well. And there you have more writing space added just like that. So that's another way you can do it. And also add character to your pages. So then you close your page, burnish your seam again, and it lays just like it did before. You don't even know that it's been added into there until you open up and oh look, more page. Like that. I love that. And I also like to use fabric. Another good way to add more. And here's a sheet that I was going to hinge onto this book. I was going to put it back here. And I like to hinge with fabric too. But, I mean, once you could use the sheet you're adding, make your hinge from it. Glue it down, and then you have another added place, or you can glue it on the sides, you have a pocket. But basically, adding pages, journaling spots, whatever you want to add, super easy. All you have to do is have a hinge and an adhesive. The hinge can be whatever you're adding, or it can be an added piece like I showed you. Another good thing, if you're going to hinge it over the side of a page, let me show you something. We'll do it on this piece. I want to add this. So a good thing I like to do, if you're going to do it over this side of the page, is on the opposite side. I think it's kind of cool to do it with fabric, and then you can stamp your fabric and make it look really cool. Glue on some fabric, make that your hinge. Love that idea. You could use ruffle to cover up. You know, you wouldn't even know that it was added. You would put your ruffle on this side, like so. It just looks like you've added it to this page, but it's actually covering the hinge from the page you added. Another thing, you can, instead of making a small hinge, you could fold this in half. I'm not going to fold this one because I'm actually going to use it, but you could fold it in half. Say this was a whole page, like this. And then you could make this a side tuck, like glue only the top and the bottom. And you could make this a pocket on this side, or, you know, not, and then it would just not glue it down, and then you would open it up and it would be more writing space, cool looking writing space, actually. And then this side would be the part that's glued down. Let's just do that. Isn't what I was going to put here, but it doesn't matter because I can always add more later, right? Let's do it to one of these pages. Boy, that's pretty paper. Really like that. Well, look, all of these are hinged. These are added and hinged. They look really cool. So if I was going to do it on this paper, I would put glue in the center, a little bit, not a lot, preferably on the side that's going to have the pocket, because the other side you want to be able to flip up really easily. So I'm just running it on the side of the crease that I'm taping it on. That makes sense. Like it's creasing, I'm gluing on this side and on each end. So put that down. Then you got a pocket on this side. And then on this side you have more writing space. Cool, huh? I love it. Cool, cool. I just love adding more spots. And I know there's 100 videos on how to add, because this is infinite thing to add journaling spots or more pages. There's just so many ways to do it, and they're all beautiful. You know, this sheet that I'm gonna hinge to this one, which I have two of them. I don't know. I think I was gonna make a pocket. I think's what was happening there. This was gonna sit inside this. So I was gonna, again, hinge those like this. But I would sew up the sides and make it a pocket. And this piece, so when you're doing two together, you're going to hinge this one both have a hinge. You're going to glue this one to that piece and sew it if you want or whatever to make your pocket. And then you're going to leave this hinge and we're going to add it to the page like so. So then you have an extra pocket that you're adding on. I hope that makes sense. I can't get to my sewing machine and I intend to sew this, or I would show you, I think, better than what I'm trying to show you now. But anyway, those are just some ideas of how to add journaling spots and pages to your journals without having to dismantle them. I hope this helped. Hope you got some ideas from this, some inspiration. If it did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I got lots of cool things coming. Collage papers, gift wrap, your own gift wrap paper. I say gift wrap like Christmas. It's not. I use it to package up my journals. And it's really neat. I think you're going to like it. So anyway, thanks again for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this. And I will see you next time. Bye.